Hi, it's time for a much needed little break at the end of the school day, but this one is particularly special. What's the connection with a Diet Coke and school, you might ask? Let me take a swig of this and then I'll tell you. One of the absolute perks of the job for me is getting to write letters of recommendation. I've written close to 400 letters of recommendation for students over my career for scholarships and jobs and mostly college applications. And one young lady just recently was accepted to the university that was her first pick. She wanted to thank me for my letter of recommendation, brought me a beautiful handwritten note and a Diet Coke because she knew that that's what I liked. I love writing letters of recommendation. I love the opportunity to connect students with another opportunity to grow and to learn. And this is something I definitely talk about in my book that's coming out, The Golden Waffle Principle, Finding Meaning in Teaching. It's coming out in December. So be sure to look for it on all your favorite book websites and on my website as well, StephenRPerkins.com. And as I sit here at the end of the day, I'm reflecting on something else. And this is something else that I talk a lot about in the book. The absolute brilliance of some of my students. Now, I teach high school, and my third year Latin students recently finished reading some selections from the Roman Stoic philosopher Seneca. And they had this book where they were to work on their translations, and you can see this person's got all kinds of notes in there as well. And as I said on the grade sheet, I said, boy, the notes and the corrections, that's the sign of a really sharp mind at work. And the students, when they turned this in, they also had to turn in a paper that talked about, some of the philosophy of Seneca, what they had learned, some of their big takeaways. And I just want to share with you very, very briefly a little bit. And this one student says, Seneca's epistles haven't just taught me things and spoken to me in deeper ways, but they have also persuaded me to apply the principles to my own life and live them out. Rather than just thinking about them, Seneca presents ways for me to actually put the wise lessons he describes to good use. This is especially true in Epistle 93, where the common and age-old adage of don't be lazy is expressed. Seneca wrote to Lucilius to tell him that the value and worth of our lives is not defined by its length, but rather by the deeds done within it. We must live every day as if it is our last and make life worth living. I will abide by this throughout my days and take into account that living out a short but meaningful life is of greater importance than living a long life and have accomplished nothing in all my days. Friends, what a brilliant summary of something that Seneca said and an application to our own life. And then I got to share with you one more from another student. Seneca's 28th epistle talks about the idea of how we can leave to go on vacation, but our troubles will still be there unless we change our mind, not just where we are. I've never thought about that in any way, and I think this is a very good idea to have. My mother always goes back and forth with herself about whether or not she should bring her work computer. And after talking about this idea in class, I realized that she deserves to enjoy the vacation as much as my siblings and I do. She does not need her laptop on vacation. And over fall break, I told her that she does not need to take it, which she ended up agreeing with. While my family vacation was still crazy due to young children, I liked the thought that I knew my mother did not have work on her mind. What a brilliant and beautiful thing. Here was this student who took a lesson from the Stoic philosopher Seneca, from antiquity, brought that into her modern life, and really, in this case, brought something to her mother and helped her mother grow as well. So folks, if you like hearing about stories like that, you're going to love the book, The Golden Waffle Principle. I encourage you to keep an eye out for it. Check out my social media at Stephen R. Perk and my website, StephenRPerkins.com. And my blog INTOY2014. That's intoy2014.blogspot.com, where you'll find many, many more wonderful stories like that. And now for me, I need another taste of Diet Coke.